Hello guys, Adam Kotkin from Red Tree Real Estate here with tip of the day number 6. Thank you guys for following. I think a lot of you guys are liking these videos. Hopefully they'll continue. They're a little bit raw so far, but we will improve, I promise. Tip of the day today, we're going to be talking about investment real estate, okay? Investment real estate, the general rule of thumb is that you have to put 25% down. With a normal owner-occupied loan, you can only put down 3.5%, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, no problem. But investing, the general rule of thumb is to put down 25%. Now, some banks will offer some interesting options. Some banks even offer 20% down for the right investment property. But generally, the rule of thumb is 25%, and you can buy a property. Now, what is an investment property? An investment property is any property that can be rented, whether it's a condo, a single family, a multifamily. It could even be a parking spot. People buy parking spots these days as investments and rent them out for $100, $150, $200 a month. It's a small investment, but a lot of times they're a pretty good return if you get a good deal in the parking spot. Now, everyone talks about location, location, location. Everyone knows this phrase. Everyone's heard it before. What does it mean? So, location, location, location means that you want to be in an area where people are heavily trafficking, where it's a major intersection generally. People know Coolidge Corner, they know Newton Center, they know Newton Highlands. All these major intersections, all these major areas where people are trafficking and they're shopping and they're walking their dogs, they're walking and talking. Anywhere where there's a downtown suburban area where there's access to public transportation, retail, restaurants, walking, shopping. This is location, location, location. It's the epitome, okay? Now, transportation, out of all of the location, location, location items, is the most important. Now, you can either have the T, you can have a bus, you can have the commuter rail. All of these things are options as far as public transportation. Now, obviously, the T is the best. Second would probably come the commuter rail. And third would probably be the bus, because sometimes it runs off schedule, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it doesn't show up. If you miss it, it takes forever to get on it when it comes around again. So my most important thing to tell you today is buy for location, buy for transportation. When you can buy near the T, generally it's gold. If you buy where there's no public transportation, you're maybe cutting off your renter pool by up to 50% of all people that are looking for property. Okay, that's 50% potentially. Probably somewhere between 30 and 50. But seriously, a lot of people do not have cars. They need public transportation. Now, what I will tell you about investing is that the most important thing that you can know are what expenses you should be estimating as far as the costs for operating a piece of real estate. Those expenses are taxes, insurance, water, sewer, condo fee, landscaping, snow removal, potentially also the heat and hot water. Now, in addition to those expenses, are there other ones that people don't really talk about very often? There are, okay? When you're analyzing a property, you want to make sure that beyond all those expenses I just listed, you're also adding 5% for vacancy. What happens when 1 month somebody leaves and they don't pay? You have to figure in that there could be a loss, a vacancy rate throughout a number of years at time in your ownership of this property. Beyond vacancy, management. Now, many people want to manage their own properties to save that 5%. But the fact is, most people don't know how to manage real estate. A lot of people that are in the real estate business don't know how to manage real estate. So what does that mean? You should probably hire a property manager if you don't know what you're doing, because everyone should be buying real estate, but not everyone should be managing their own properties. Believe me, they shouldn't. Beyond management and maintenance, beyond income, vacancy, and management, there's a third thing. It's called maintenance. Every property needs maintenance every year. I don't know if you know about home ownership, but it's not so easy. There's a lot of work involved. You got to repair, you got to replace, you got to fix. Now, anything you need to do when it comes to those things, you got to hire someone, and you got to figure that it's going to cost you some money. You figure in 5% annually of the income. So that's an additional 15% that most people don't figure in when they analyze real estate, when they estimate the value of what the property is worth. It's very important numbers that most investors forget about and then come up short on their expectations when they're in the end, when they try to figure out what they've done and what they've made after they've made their investment. Okay? So the plan is to win big. So if you fall short, it's okay. You still made money. You still made a lot of money maybe. But if you're planning on winning small, like only making a small profit, okay, and you fall short, you may make no money or you may lose money. So it's really simple. Planning, understanding value, understanding expenses, understanding how to do your own calculations. Don't be fooled by brokers who show you a high return on MLS and say, hey, this property brings in all this money, take a look. And then when you do your own numbers and you analyze the expenses that are supposed to be in there to estimate the value of this property, a 10% return may turn into a 6% return before you even blink. So don't be fooled by brokers that do the numbers for you. Always do your own numbers, always estimate and always evaluate your own properties yourself. Let the broker help you, don't get me wrong. The broker's there to help you. But in the end, you have to run your own numbers. You have to make sure your investment is good for you. Nobody else is gonna do it for you, believe me. Investment real estate is full with other people that are already investors. When you buy an investment property, that guy was already there renting that property for years. He knows that property in and out. You don't. So be careful when you buy investment property. Work with a broker who knows, that's been through hundreds of properties, that's been through hundreds of home inspections, that knows a good deal when they see it, and they know when there's a problem when they see it. Okay? Always do your own math. Always make sure your investments are proper by yourself. Don't rely on other people to do your evaluation for you. Make sure you work with your broker, not separated from your broker. Your broker will help you facilitate the process, but in the end, always run your own numbers. More investment tips to come. Stay tuned. Investment tip number 6. Number 7's coming at you soon. Thank you guys so much for following. Hope you guys liked the video. Thank you.